I don't hate white people, but I do hate growing up without a history. I hate that every day in history class, all the heroes aren't painted in color. The men and the women who killed families and friends of my ancestors are praised as saviors. I hate that keeping tradition is more important than telling the truth. But I don't hate white people.
All right, class. Before we begin today's lesson, do you know why I'm here? No? Well, do you know why I take this class seriously? No? Great. Well, let me tell you my story. It took years in development to access a progressing mentality that is accepted by others. And to be quite honest, many associates surrounding me have yet to figure out what's been up with me. I've been suffering from enemy and separation from my appointed position I'm supposed to be in. As long as I can remember, I began to question just exactly what it was that lowered my eyes from this deceptive environment. The hideous, lonely emptiness of existence. Nothingness. The predicament of man forced to live in a barren, godless eternity. Like a tiny flame flickering in an immense void with nothing but waste, horror, and degradation, forming a useless, bleak straitjacket in a black, absurd cosmos. This is what it feels like to live in America, ladies and gentlemen. Only I believed it was just that. My thoughts would seem flat as filled with agonizing imaginings that dare to strike my fellow existence. It's now blank. But being alone has brought philosophical questions to mind, which may leave you with a look that will only counter my thoughts. Which is what I love. As a black
Kid,
boy,
girl, woman,
man, roaming this earth, we adapt. Zipping left and right, finding the right paths to go. Running into wrongs, knowing that it ain't our fault. And with money going towards bills and the color of my skin holding a life's result, I don't really want to adult. But to be honest, it's nothing to worry about. Because when I look left and right, I realize they have the same thoughts too. You see, we need some sort of exemption. Which is why thoughts like these create riot-like intentions. Come on, you've seen them. The riot's about being accepted, the riot's about being neglected, and the riot's about eliminating you as an objective. We can't run from it nor hide, because those things you have in your pocket, damn, I got one too. They keep us in check. You see, no one's really gonna care about you as a person until what you go through transfers over to them, whether it be love or hatred. And if they hated you from the start because of what you are and what you do, protesting about what you do and what you are will mostly fuel that hatred for what you are because of what you're doing. Now, I'm not here to coach. I'm just saying we need a different approach. To make it click in their heads that what people like us crave needs to be fed. We need to create a connection and keep it unexpected. Because when peace attempts to find its way around the world, it doesn't even get the time to suffice. I mean, men like
Tupac, MLK,
Gandhi,
Castro,
Malcolm X,
or even Jesus Christ. The moment an armor-piercing revolution stretches loud and clear is when the death of the people who began the movement will soon premiere. All eyes are on us because we have the tools to destroy this place. But never could we keep the idea to save the universe. The evils behind Lucy just won't last.
I like coffee, I like tea. I like the color boy, but he don't like me. So step up, white girl, it's your time. My worst only found in my behind. Last night, the night before, I met my teacher at the candy store. She bought me cookies, she bought me cake. She said, girl, why you talk that way? Mama, something ain't right. Call the doctor, teach me how to be right. She called the doctor and the doctor prescribed. Close your eyes and count to 5. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm alive?
I don't hate white people. But I hate that even though we had to create our own culture in this new world, that it isn't ours. I hate that the beautiful locks that come natural to my curls are now a trend. And that the natural curve of my breasts and my thighs are more praised on a white woman with an iPhone. I hate that the secret language between brothers is now adopted into the lifeless translation of the modern day millennium. But I don't hate white people.
Little girl with the pressing curl. Hey Jay, I got a Jerry curl. 13 and I got a lesson. I was the source of so much laughter. 15 when it all broke off. 18 and I went on after. February 2000. I did what I had to do. Don't touch my hair. I walk into a room and everybody stares. It's like all eyes are on me. The anxiety that changing my hair brings.
Oh my God, I almost didn't recognize you.
Was that supposed to be funny? See, my hair grows towards the sun. Natural hair products is where I spend my money.
Okay, girl.
I like my baby hair with baby hair and afros. See, my hair is more than just hair, that I know. My hair is so strong that it can break homes. My hair is a mess, the nest, and a home. I found another bobby pin. It got lost in my curls. Wash day is my Sabbath in the natural hair world. I am not my hair. I am not the skin. I'm going to show them that natural hair can win. See, the time, the patience, and the effort that I put in, I know that it'll all pay off in the end. Because if there is one thing that I will never forget, I'll always remember that.
My hair is the shit. I don't hate white people, but I hate that they seem to want me to cover up. I hate that trying to be good isn't good enough. I hate that they rather see me as the singing happy-go-lucky mammy than the real American growing with just a little bit of melanin. But I hate being
A character.
A stereotype.
a nigger is better than being me.
An invisible boy, a boy who disappeared. No community to call home, no tribe to call his own. An invisible boy is unable to shout. An invisible boy is always left out. This boy can't be white, he has a dark face. This boy can't be black, he acts nothing like his race. Society has painted a narrow image of what it means to be black. And if you don't fit the mold, then an inclusive community is worth a jack. External racism. When the invisible boy tried to be white, he was undervalued and condemned. His white peers were placed on a pedestal no matter how much he had in common with them. But this boy was so desperate, and so he did whatever it took to gain their acceptance by molding to their look. But he was always seen as inferior, regardless of what he did. This invisible boy could not pretend he was a white kid. This isolated corner was the only place to go, because surrounding himself with hatred would be a heavy and fatal blow. Internal racism. When the invisible boy tried to be black, he failed to fit in. Oh, how he failed at that. He didn't look or dress black. He had different goals. Sure, he's from the same neighborhood, but did he have a white soul? We must preserve our identity by questioning his loyalty. Was his English too proper? Was his outfit too straight? Was wanting to pursue the arts too much of a white trait? He was bullied and condemned for not acting right. He was isolated and shamed for thinking he was white. But the boy was not angry, nor was he afraid. He was overwhelmed, isolated, drained, and ashamed. Black youth have suffered from a crisis, lost in a battle of finding their racial identity. But we must not let this painful truth consume our black youth. Nerd comes in many shapes and colors, and that's the truth. So to that invisible boy, the boy who disappeared, do not feel embarrassed, ashamed, or mad. Do not feel upset, ashamed, and sad. Somewhere out there, there's a place unlike any other, a community where all of us support and help one another. So tell that invisible boy to take a leap of faith. Reveal your face. You're not a disgrace because you are a person beyond your skin, beyond your race. All of us can see you, and you are valid in this place.
I don't hate white people, but I do hate that when I ask a white person to be an ally, the first question is why instead of how. I hate that bringing me up to their level seems to scare them. I hate that when I challenge them, they hate it, but when they challenge me, I can't say anything. I hate that I even have to explain my pain for them to even understand or believe me, when I know that they don't and never will. But I don't hate white people.
Hi, I'm Camille, and I'm selling white allyship. Oh no, sir, it's absolutely free. The catch? You have to be willing to advocate for Black Lives Matter. Hi, I'm selling Girl Scout cookies. Mint chocolate chip? Okay, I'm out of those. Samoas? No, okay, look, I'm not actually selling Girl Scout cookies. I'm selling white allyship. I can see you in there. 21 years ago, I was born, never knowing I would speak with two tongues because colonilingualism is the norm, but yet still learn. And in the second grade, I had self-awareness branded into me, and it was a mark I felt I was too young to deserve. Rebecca asked me, "What's it feel like to be Black?" And I admit I was taken aback because before then I had never even realized I was different. I don't know. What's it feel like to be white? And that was the end of that. Until later that night, sitting up under my mother, I asked her, and here was her answer. She said, "We are the granddaughters of the witches they couldn't burn. Our mouths hold the secrets of wisdom so archaic they would rather sew them shut, seal them shut, singe them shut before allowing us to say it. We've learned to compartmentalize our emotions after immigrating across oceans, being shipped across oceans, being stolen across oceans. We've learned to compartmentalize our emotions." Wisdom. Okay, I can do that. Until I went to the third grade at a new school and I found out that being Black came with a whole bunch more rules. Like how to be and how to sound. You talk white, where are you from? And other similar sentiments often followed me around. And at my new school, I still didn't fit in quite right. I hadn't yet learned that language is like laundry. You separate the darks from the whites, isolation. You separate the darks from the whites, segregation. You separate the darks from the whites, redlining, Asian. And then when the coloreds bleed, colors, you pour bleach on it and wash it all down the drain because, guilt stains. And in our hands, it burns. And in our eyes, it blinds. And in our mouths, we die.
I don't hate white people, but I hate that they don't see me. I hate that I'm not an American, but an African, Native, Jamaican American. I hate that my stories seem extra when theirs are deemed true. I hate that wanting equality seems to be more of a threat when it should be a necessity. I don't hate white people, but why do they hate me?
Change will not come through some other person or some other time. We are the ones we've been searching for. We are the change that we seek. President Barack Obama.
I am where I am today because of the bridges that I've crossed. Sojourner Truth was a bridge. Harriet Tubman was a bridge. Ida B. Wells was a bridge. Fannie Lou Hamer was a bridge. Madam C.J. Walker was a bridge. Oprah Winfrey.
Find the good. It's all around you. Find it, showcase it, and then you'll start believing it. Jesse Owens.
We can't choose the events that happen to us, but we can choose not to be diminished by them. Maya Angelou.
Hate is too great a burden to bear. It injures the hater more than it injures the hated. Coretta Scott King.
I refuse to believe the view that mankind is so blind by the starless midnight of racism and war that the bright daybreak of peace and brotherhood is no longer a reality. W.E.B. Du Bois.
All of us can see you, and we are valid in this place.